Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking a little bit about my journey losing some weight. So far I have accomplished 35 pounds off, and I can't say it was easy. A lot of people will be like, wow, you got so far. I guess it is, but for a person who's been losing and gaining their entire life, I can say it was not easy. Here we go. So one of the topics I really wanted to embrace today was talking about how exercising as an obese person's perspective can be. Like, everyone looks and says like, wow, they can only walk or stuff like that, and you have to go slowly, unfortunately, because you can't just overnight change this habit of being sedentary and just become super fit person. So my journey was, I started really looking into walking with my boyfriend, and sometimes it would do 2 hours, an hour, depending on how far we could do it. At the time he would go running, and for me that was quite difficult, considering my feet would get swollen, my everything would kind of hurt, and I've heard that if I tried running very hard, I had to be careful with my knees because of my weight, and it puts a lot of pressure into your knees. Either way, I kind of disobeyed some of the things, and I just really was trying really hard to overcome some of the difficulties of being an obese person exercising. So I researched more online, and I really looked what the science were saying, the science analytics, and all the people who have perspective on those things, and I really followed their advices. I even looked into shoes that are proper for people my weight. You would think like that's such a crazy thing to think about, but yeah, if you're so heavy and your feet are getting smushed, I really had to invest in some shoes that were more comfortable for my weight, and if I was trying to run, so it could help me propel. And these are the things that it's a splurge, it's not something necessary. But if you're really serious about trying to be the best of yourself and really try to show that, you know, the efforts equal the gains, and I guess that's what my message is, just to look into what it's best for you. For example, a lot of the times that I exercise and I went on walks and runs, it really affected my thighs. I would get blisters, like crazy inflamed blisters that really reduced once I became vegan, but it's still like you still go in the you know, like every time you get sweaty and the thighs go together, and it can be really hurting, like if a kid when they use diapers and everything, like you get really bruised, and I mean you get like burnt in between your thighs basically. So a lot of the times people recommended go running, go doing ellipticals and things like that, and I just think overall you have to be mindful and research about it, because not everything people tell you, even though their intentions are great, they're not really intended for you, or sometimes they haven't figured out the magic themselves. They only recommend what they're used to hearing, or things that are from the past. Like, I've heard that it's good to have cardio, but cardio is also very bad for your joints when you're overweight and things like that. So I would recommend actually learning proper form of movements in the gym and really trying some muscle workouts, because that's when I started seeing the most results on my body, was when I started weight training. And not crazy, just slowly starting and researching some, maybe even looking into like bodybuilding books and try to like see what works best for you specifically. What are your goals, what are these? But sometimes you doing cardio will not allow you to perform well doing weights, so you have to really go slowly and see what your goals are. The apparel I also invested in when I was trying to lose weight was like, you have to have comfortable gym clothes that you will feel comfortable in. Like, I personally had a lot of gym clothes from my past that didn't fit me, and I would try to squeeze it in, and I would work out really uncomfortably. And I think it's very important to look for specific brands that are well dressing people your weight, and doesn't matter how skinny or how fat you can be, and you know, like, you have to wear something that it's proper for your body and any weight you are in at the moment. So there are brands like I preferred. Victoria's Secrets is one that I would buy always XL, and then there was Gymshark, which I would buy XL as well, or a large. And at the time I was like a 3XL in most brands, but when it comes to like leggings and stuff, I could fit it in and I would be okay with it. But one of the most nice leggings I've gotten so far was Victoria's Secrets. I really enjoyed buying some from Amazon. Actually, there was some options there with really inexpensive brands, and they have shorts and things like that you can get a little more comfortable when you feel like more yourself and everything like that. Another thing that I really thought it would be relevant to talk about would be that sometimes when I had my arms up and my skin and things like getting floppy and things like that, like, small things can really affect how confident you are in the gym. So if these is something that you're concerned with, or sweating too much or things like that, I would recommend trying to use some long sleeves that will help you feel less subconscious, or pants that really favor your shape and your body, and things that won't make you feel ashamed of how you look at the moment in the gym. Like, when I would do Hummer curls, the machine, I would put my arms like this, and a lot of the times I would feel subconscious about like how my arms are positioned and things like that. Another thing that I would really like to reinforce, this is from my experience when I went to like a big gym, especially if there's a lot of bodybuilders and people who are kind of analyzing how you look. I would recommend, if possible, to try to use a gym that won't make you feel like that, or you can start slowly introducing yourself to the staff and people who work there and people who are normally there, and small little things like your body language. You can slowly like smile to someone, say have a nice day, drive safely, like little small subtle things, and eventually you're gonna start a small little friendship with those people. Like, you see them every day. If you're like anything like me, I really try to work out about 4 times a week at least. So my actual goal is 6 days a week, and but we're not like professionals here or anything, so we're slowly getting there. And I can say that when I started at the gym, I'm currently at Rock Fitness at my location here, the staff is really friendly, and they make me feel welcome, and it wasn't always like that. Recently they changed up the entire staff over COVID-19, and actually I'm really pleasant with the people we have right now. They're really friendly, they're really accepting, they're really motivating. Not that they're training me or anything, but sometimes I'm really doing my pull-ups, and an employee will come up and be like, competition, let's go pull-ups too. And I just think that's really sweet, you know, very sweet of them. I really appreciate it, and if I can ever help them in any way, making the gym more comfortable for us, I would always be up for it. One of the supplements that I tried, I was at first kind of really scared to play around with supplements, but I started using beta alanine because you can feel the tingling, and I did some research on it. It's not like a must have, but I recently started using BCAAs, and I found out that you can find that same protein in most whey proteins. So if you're already consuming whey proteins, don't worry about BCAAs. But since I'm vegan, it's really hard to find that whey protein that's delicious. I have a few here. I've been experimenting there. There's some that I can handle, so some that I don't crave. It's not like something I really need yet, but I'm about to like find out if I can slowly I'm gonna invest in more kinds, and slowly I will find out if there is a vegan one that it's for me somewhere in the world. Anyways, I also tried creatine, which I think most people who work out recommend for muscle recovery, for muscle magic. So another thing I found out that is not really studied, but a lot of people feel like their hands get really swollen. I already have like a swollen hand as it is, and so it's really easy to notice that my hands and my foot get swollen after like very hard endurance exercises. So in my recommendation is to really look into going to the doctor and checking your vascular system, and checking if your blood pressure is good, if you have any indications of diabetes, because these are things that, even though most people will feel those things, it's kind of common. It's also important to always have your health in check, and check if you have any underlying conditions for the symptoms you're presenting yourself. But most of the time, those feeling of swollenness after an endurance exercise, such as like a cardio or something, it is related mostly to overweight conditions. So I'm still suffering with it, but eventually it is supposed to diminish. So I can say that about 30 to 50% improvement on that has happened, and that's all I wanted to say. Like I mean, I can give tips all day long. If you would wish, I'll get there, and I'll have more things to bring up to the table. And I'm sorry about this noise, but my dog is like currently eating her bone and enjoying life, and I wish everyone can enjoy theirs as well. And hopefully losing weight is not the biggest thing in your mind and concern. You have to do it because it's good for you, and you have to do it because you want to enjoy doing it. And I would also recommend finding people that you would like doing those things with, so when you go, it's not like I have to go to the gym. I personally prefer going with my boyfriend or things like that. Like if I have a company or a friend, it's much easier for me to get it at the house, and this is where things can get a little tricky sometimes. Anyways, if you want more recommendations, just subscribe down here, and I'll help you find the success to your story. Every week I'm gonna try making a new video and making sure that you guys have studied a little bit more about the topic. Everything has to be researched on your own. Unfortunately, internet is a very difficult place to find things, and even though there is multiple people posting and things like that, you have to be really cautious of who you're reading and who you're believing all these stories about. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, and I hope seeing you soon. Bye bye.